am changing the rotor, rear right rotor, on my 2007 Hyundai Santa Fe. And I don't know about you, but I have had lots of fun trying to get rotors off of cars. Not just Hyundai Santa Fe's, but pretty much any car, because sometimes these rotors can almost seem like they're welded to the hub. And you can sit there and you heat them and you pound on them and you soak them in WD-40 and you do everything you can think of, and it just, doesn't want to break loose off that hub. And I know a lot of people banged up a lot of knuckles trying to get these suckers off of there. So I'm going to show you the method that I use. But anyway, here's what I do. So first of all, you take the screws out that hold the hub, or the rotor, to the hub. And I've got those screws out already. And then you squirt a little WD-40 in there, and then you squirt a little WD-40 around this seam right here where the rotor is on the hub, and let it soak for a little while. Okay, I'm probably going to go ahead and give it another little bit of a squirt there, and you want to let it kind of soak in for maybe 5 minutes or so, and squirt some in here in these holes and let that soak in a little bit. Then what you do is, once you've got the caliper off and the caliper bracket off, okay, I'm not going to show you how to do that. That's a pretty straightforward job. But once you've got that caliper bracket off, there's nothing holding this rotor on. So you can come back here to the back, and I just basically took a couple of 2.5 inch long, I think they're 2.5 inch, might be 3, but I think they're 2.5 bolts, okay, and I think they're 20 threads per inch. This nut and the bolt head are 9/16 inches, and I just put it through, and I put a washer on the other side, on the side closest to the rotor, and then I put this nut on there, okay, and I just snug it up a little bit up against that washer. Do the same thing on the bottom. Then, now I'm using a 9/16 one of those hollow type socket wrenches I got at Harbor Freight, and basically just gives you a little bit more room. You can probably use a regular socket wrench. I'm using this only because it's a little more it's a little narrower and gives me a little more room to work with. But you get that on there, like you're going to set it to tighten this bolt, okay. Let's see if I can get it on there. Okay, there we go. And then you're going to just, you don't want to just be tightening this nut up against this bracket mounting flange. What you're going to want to do is put a 9/16 on there, and you're going to want an open end, and you're going to want to kind of hold that and keep it from turning as you crank this down, and that will just basically force the bolt against the rotor. And you go back and forth between the upper and the lower, and just kind of tighten them down, nice and tight. And eventually, as you're cranking them, going back and forth, eventually you will probably hear a kind of a loud pop. Okay, now if you're really lucky, that's all you have to do, and the hub's going to come right off. But you might have to, loosen those that bolt and those nuts again, just loosen them up, and then rotate this hub 180 degrees and repeat the process. Okay, so you're basically, you're going to put pressure against these 2 points right here, and then you're going to turn this hub and end up putting pressure against these 2 points when you get the thing turned 180 degrees. Or you can maybe turn it 90 degrees at a time. The idea is you want to keep kind of doing that pressure at different points around the rotor. Eventually it's going to pop, and once it breaks loose, it just comes right off. And it really does make this job, I found, fairly easy. So hope this has been helpful, and I don't think this is unique to the Hyundai Santa Fe. Basically the same principle will probably work on pretty much any rotor brake system. And I hope this has been helpful, and talk to you later.